and it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to the Elite. It is a almost full grid. I think we're missing a singular driver right now, and it is going to be France again. A big surprise, and yeah, we're gonna see what's going on. A couple of returners, a couple of new drivers coming in here. Well, Rapid Seed is actually the empty one today, as he. Oh lord, I forgot. I think. He ran into an argument with a bus and broke his wrist or something like that. So yeah, contrary to like 2010 Alonso, he will of course not be driving with one hand. And so there's only one Red Bull, which is a Challenger Reserve Phantominum tonight in there. So we have a couple of returners and newcomers. That is Twinmark, who is replacing his twin Alex, due to the recent ban. And then we have new Haas's, which is Dan and DJ. They will be expected to be fighting right well with all the Challenger substitutes here, as they are a little bit faster than Challenger. And yeah, would be expected to be on the lower end of the full-time elite driver spectrum. But yeah, time trials are not always everything, so maybe they are just way quicker than it seems on the sign-ups. So let's jump on board, and Curtsy has the pleasure of doing the first outlap and thus hot lap. Oh god, Tianchi is asking for death and chaos. I'd rather hope we see a little bit less of that. I mean, at least we have enough drivers to spare, I guess. Yeah, who do we have from Challenger then as well? I mean, we talked about newcomers, we talked about Twinmark returning. And from Challenger we have... Oh, let me look. Kingsman, newly crowned champion. Then we have Daddy and Phantominum, so 3 drivers coming in tonight from down there. So that's gonna be an interesting one, especially like, I don't know, Yeast returning as well, has been around last week as well, very nice to have him back. And Ed is quite, like, Yeast and Ed is quite the explosive Alfa Romeo combo, if I'll be real here for a second. Can you invite Mr. Genya? Of course I am able to do that. Zack. So maybe 20 drivers. Sheesh. Honestly, I am not sure how this was within track limits there for the first 2 turns, really stretching the definitions of it. And now through the next chicane. You'll be joining as a spectator? Yeah, sure. Fuck, what English, mate? What do you mean? Surely that is used in, as a... Oh god, how are these things called? I don't even know it in German. Like... words that describe noises. You join in the booth if you wish. I don't mind, honestly. I'd have to jump in the booth real quick first then. Let's finish Kurtz's run here for now. And then I'll sort things out in the Discord. So, Kurtz is going to be setting the first benchmark, of course. Has not been quite on pace in the past, but at least has been starting to get into the top 10s moderately often again. So, yeah, curious how well he's going to do here. yeah, a lot of the big guns, I guess. Seagull and Jimsky, I think, wanted to start from the back, so this might spice up things in front a little bit. Don't know what suck is. There is a word like that is describing, especially like these exact things. I'm getting them. Hello, Mr. Astro.
Hello, Mr. Dude.
I'll make you learn it.
That's a regret.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Speak, Mister. Speak, good sir.
I am speaking.
Alright, okay, this is certainly loud enough.
Oh well.
So, well, had a decent race in Challenger, had you?
I did. I'm pretty happy with the result, to be fair.
Didn't even like. Did you need the safety car much? Or you were in a decent position beforehand, right?
I will admit the safety car, I think, maybe put me back a little.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, to be fair, I felt like minus the top three, I was probably one of, if not the fastest driver out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I felt really slow.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I think like Nitro's pit stop of course helped, and Phantominum and Kingsman were like on rails, but yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that is fairly accurate, I think. Did look good throughout the entirety of the race. Well, we got a lead going with the full grid again, which is lovely. Any predictions to the winner?
Predictions to the winner. So far, I'm not too sure. I kind of want to say Seagull. I was kind of drawn to Seagull winning the race for some reason.
To be honest, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if he's gonna disqualify himself or something, because he is currently sitting in P2, and I thought he said he wanted to start from the back, but maybe he wants to back the championship first and like drive normally, I guess. Yeah. Top end is relatively close actually, with Emil's on pole right now, Seagull just behind, and then Yanaman and Marcian split by 3,000s only as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Cherry on an outlap as well here.
Oh god, Jimsky set his lap on the Inters, 1:33. It's ultimately, I think, the qualifying time of Fabian or something, which is kind of crazy, honestly.
Yeah. Not Yanaman. Who do we have? We had Nitro, Fabian. I can't remember the last one.
Yeah,
But
Mr.
they were all
Genya was down there, I
133s.
think, as well, yeah.
And then, yeah, you had Mr. I think it's Janier. I could be wrong. Everyone when we're in VC says
Honestly,
Janier.
if he's Canadian and he's like from the French part, it's probably Janier.
Janier.
Yeah, like that, sorta. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. He has never corrected us himself, so either he does not care or he doesn't watch the stream, and
Or it's both. it's not like one of those things. Like it is Janier, but people will also say Genya.
yeah.
But yeah, no, he ended up having a 138, I believe.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, he was like going out super late, right? He really missed like the time window for dry track.
Yeah, a few of us went out on obviously when the rain hit. There was no way we were going to get faster laps anyway, but a few of us went out just to get a feel because we thought we knew there was going to be rain in the race. So we decided maybe that would be a good idea, get a little bit of a feel for the track, see how it's feeling.
Yeah. Oh, no one on a valid lap right now. Curious of
Gerald not on one?
Huh?
I believe Cherry's on one. Unless he's invalidated. It looks like he's flying.
Oh yeah, he has just started one, yes. Hussein has left the session. Okay. Let's hope he doesn't retire. what Emil's been cooking is Marcel asking the Discord, and honestly, I'm
Also, Jimsky
inclined.
didn't set his time on inters, he set it on wet.
Did he? I saw him going into the pits, and he was on intermediates.
It says it's got the wet icon next to it, so I believe
Maybe
it's
it's
wet.
the tires he currently has on, and not the PB tires. But I'm
No,
not
maybe
sure.
actually. 'Cause it says 0% laps, so maybe
Yeah,
he's now
okay.
on. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
I'm curious as to how fast he can.
Yeah, you've
Probably not
got
quicker, right?
Jimsky and Yeast both set a lap on the inters. Everyone else has set one on softs. Fastest, obviously, being Emil's.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy actually. I think like, especially given that the usual suspects are like up there, Ed as well, Janeman, Marcian. This Emil's time is probably really fast actually. And considering, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't think he was gonna drive such a time, but he has been a little bit, slower in the quali at least.
Cherry on a P11 with a 130.2.
Yeah. So close behind Eric and Fanta as well. There's just a minor improvement, could get him 2 more positions in the future.
If Fanta brings the aggression he had in the Charlie race, I believe he'd probably be doing quite well, maybe top 10 position.
So yeah, let's look at who we would expect for points then, I guess. I think the current top 8 and then probably Jimsky and Hussein would be my bets, but yeah, it's gonna be hard for these challenger drivers today to get some points out of this. Oh, Janeman with a new provisional pole time there, 28.8. Not quite sure what is considered to be a good time around here as well.
I think a low 28 is probably your well, maybe I'd maybe say around about a 29 dead would maybe be the kind of benchmark.
Yeah. Seagull is not improving currently. I think Goetze is, yeah, he just cut the chicane.
Cherry is having his own variation of track limits right now,
Yeah.
whilst he's on his end lap.
Mark here is just invalidated, but he's also gonna come in because he has no fuel. Who else do we have?
We got DJ Lol, who's about to settle a lap. He's starting his one now.
Dylan improved ever so slightly, but did not gain any positions. And yeah, let's look at DJ here, I guess, one of our newcomers.
Which obviously, all these newcomers, this are like, you know, with DJ, Den, and is there one more, I think?
Yeah, I mean Mark's returning, but
technically
yeah.
Mark, yeah, but we kind of know his pace anyway. But with the 2 newcomers in the Haas seats here, they're, you know, this is their chance to try and prove themselves as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the field is tough, I think, for them. It's gonna be hard for them to get into the points, but I'm sure they have a little bit more in them than they have shown right now. So yeah, we'll see. It's a little bit of an improvement needed by DJ here. He's currently 0.1 down. Needs half a second to MQ.
Yeah, looks like Jimsky on yet another outlap on the inters.
He didn't improve. Wait, Yeast. Okay, Yeast has now set a normal lap as well. He's on a 130.1 as well. Oh, he's really close together there with Eric and Fantaninum. Cherry there. Yeah, but if he improves by a 10th, he can gain 3 positions.
Yeah, Jimsky's also still out on the inters. Man just shot through the chicane at the speed of sound.
Well. Wants to make it to the actual hot lap as fast as possible. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Even if this race goes ahead as normal, I think this could be very interesting up in the top.
The top 10 is definitely going to be quite interesting.
Yeah,
A lot of fighting going to go on.
if like Seagull starts from behind, like at the back of the field as well, I think this could honestly be a very good chance for Hussein and Yaneman.
Yeah, definitely. That's Jimsky on a hot lap now on intermediates.
Okay.
We also got.
Do intersets carry over in between like quali as well? Using
I think they're different sets.
Okay, okay. Because like, if it's raining in the race and Jimsky just has used 2 of his good intersets to just set a lap for jokes, probably like burned 20% of them in 1 lap.
Yeah, he also got Seagull just about, well, just out on a lap. Well, out in he has out lap, sorry.
Yeah, a bunch of cars on the outlap right now. I think someone is just gonna cross the line, and that is too much.
And you've got Kurtzer coming in for his hot lap just behind him as well.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go. I think everybody can still easily get out and have another try at this point.
There's still plenty of time, especially with a lot of people just deciding that they're going to go through the chicane. Which I don't really agree with that kind of thing.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know. I wonder if that would be, like, if that would be allowed, if that was meta in, like, real F1, if they would just cut the track the entire time to get out there quicker. I guess there you have,
cars coming out of the pits as well.
There you have the problem of, like, the advanced need to heat up your tires.
Yeah, and if we could maybe switch to Seagull, he's about to set another lap here.
Yep, I'm currently on board with Hussein, who has not set a timed lap yet, but I'll jump over in a bit.
Sorry, I do have the stream open. I am paying attention to what you're doing, but I'm also behind as well. So
yeah, fair.
A lot of cars pulling to the side on the straight.
Yeah, the track is really full right now. It's only Mr. Guenier in the pits right now. Oh, and there's the invalidation by Hussein, and we go back up to Seagull. Hussein might be starting from the back then, involuntarily. If he can't get another lap going, he's gonna have to drive one with very limited ERS. Hey, even chatting.
Could you settle something for us, Mr. Genier or Genier?
Yeah.
Is it Genier or is it Genier or Genier?
Sleeping in his garage. Is it like French pronunciation, or is it just like, I'm just saying Mr. Genier the entire time, but honestly, if we, like, given you're Canadian, it could be French-ish and could just be Genier or something.
So is it?
Yeah, it's actually Genier. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so I was right.
Oh, shit. I've been pronouncing it wrong for like half a year.
Doom is out of the casting booth for the rest of Formula
Sundays. It's in my genes. I just don't really have respect for French.
Also, whilst we're talking about that, Seagull with a 128.6 taking provisional pole as well.
And Hussein is not getting a timed lap in at all. So that's gonna be tough for him. Kurtz is spun out. It's French-Canadian, okay, yeah.
And you've got Phantom just setting a lap as well.
Yep, I need to get Mark back in, I think. Whoop. Well. Would it be Monsieur Genier then? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Canadian French is. Oh, oui. Bien sûr.
French Canadians are tougher. I'd like to see a fight between the French and the Canadian
Average
French.
Quebecan and Emils could not improve as well. I think Janeman is probably most interesting hot lap right now. He's not that far away from
He's
Seagull, but also behind.
Up 110.
Up? Behind, no?
Wait, what does plus mean again? That
It
means
is
behind. Yeah.
negative. You want to be minus.
Oh yeah, so he's down a tenth right now.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is confusing. Plus is down, minus is up.
There is also the chance that he could somehow pull that 10th back and get it here. Is he going to do it? He
Nope.
doesn't do it.
But front row for him, next to Seagull. Let's see, is Ed still cooking? Oh yeah, Ed did in fact cook a P5 here. Let's see, Dylan also improved by half a second, and yet again
Yeah.
it doesn't give him any position. Oh, Satch. He improved by 3/10 the first time
13
and
by
stayed-
310.
Yeah, and then...
Why did I say 13th by 3 tenths? I meant to say Phantom by 3 tenths.
Oh yeah, up to P10 here. It's also very good for him.
So that seems to be it, setting up the grid. We've got Seagull, Janeman in the front row, following behind the Meals, and Kingsman, which could be an interesting turn 1.
Why is Kingsman challenger, but I can't be? Honestly, yeah, Kingsman kinda illegal lap time here. What the hell is going on? Oh well, and I see we already have the first beef cooking up, apparently. There has been a coming together between an Alfa Romeo and the Williams.
What's this, sorry?
Anyways. Seagull, Janeman, Emils, and Kingsman. The front two rows. Then Ed with a decent quality time here as well, followed by the two Ferraris, Marcia and Cherry, the Polish squad combined. Kurtz in the first Aston as his teammate never got a run together. Dylan in the second Alpine, and Fantominum getting one of the Red Bulls into the top 10 at least. Decent position for him to start, and also a decent gap here. He's just all alone. There's like half a second ahead of him and half a second behind him. Yeah, very curious how that is going to translate in race pace and what we're going to see.
Can be quite interesting because a lot of the time the newcomers will be quite, maybe not slow is the right way to word it, but they'll be quite slow in qualifying or quite fast in qualifying, and then their pace in the race is the complete opposite.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I mean, race pace and like quali paces are like vastly different as well with consistency and stuff, so
Yeah,
could really still go anywhere from here.
definitely.
Oh god.
I also like that both the Red Bulls with Mr. Junior and Phantomanium, both reserve seats this week as well. Their racing numbers are 93 and 94.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, they're really on the end of the scale. I don't know. It's like so weird numbers that I don't like. I feel like nobody has ever driven. I mean, like 99 or something. I think Giovinazzi has.
I know a few other drivers drive my number.
But... Okay, fair. But you're like 13, right? Or what was the
Yes.
number? Yes.
Yeah, 13.
Anyways.
It used to be 7.
We're going away here already, in fact, and Janeman has jumped Seagull on the start. Apart from that, it has been a decent start for Seagull, I think, and a even better start for Kingsman on the mediums. Has made up one position there. Slide coming together, and
at the end there, and we've got Phantomanium out of the race.
Yeah, maybe the limbo he was caught in time-wise and quali really translated to, well,
It
getting
did
sent
look
to the
like
limbo.
somebody's picked up some contact there with Phantomanium near the end, near the turn 1 there.
His response in Discord is just, that was fast.
Well, Elite is fast in all aspects. Trying to go through the grid, seeing if I can find anyone who has any form of damage as well.
I mean, one thing that is standing out for me is Twin Mark. He's 13th. He started from 19th, I think, but at the same time Hussein from 20th got up to 15 as well. So maybe there was just some sort of incident that lost some major time to all the others around. Maybe the Phantominum got spun and like ended up just in the way of well, the Haas, for example, but not
Oh, and
Williams.
we've just had contact between both the
Oh,
Mercedes.
Seagull is gone. What?
Seagull is now back in P13.
Oh my
And
god, and there's a rear end by Hussein on the Haas as
Hussein
well.
on the Haas there as
Oh
well.
lord.
A lot of damage in this virtual safety car.
Oh, and
which
Kingsman
now
is gone
ended.
as well into the pits here. He probably needs a new front wing, otherwise I don't think he would have gone. What is going on, man? I thought this was Elite here.
It's now gotten to the point where the Chally races are more tame and less things going on.
Yeah, fair. Like there was. I mean, Martin
Oh,
crashed a bunch of
I don't
times on his
know
own.
what's just happened with, I believe, Twin Mark
Yeah.
there.
And the Haas as well. DJ there
Oh,
spun
a lot of
in
contact
turn 2.
at turn 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't know if there was contact actually. I don't know if you saw it, but it looked like he could have just spun on his own. But
No,
Eric,
it looked like Seagull might have
okay.
hit the AlphaTauri in front of him.
There's a bunch of people who are now just in so much better positions all of a sudden. Eric is in P6. We have Yeast all the way up already as well. Marcian and Dylan here exchanging positions a little bit. Or Marcian and Yeast, I'm not sure. There was some exchanging of positions going on. And, well, it's fairly close for everybody except Jannemann, who's currently sitting comfortably in P1 due to the 2 Mercedes behind him crashing out.
A little bit unfortunate.
It's chaos even after we stopped racing, says
But they are both
Hold on.
really fast as well. So the thing is they could pull quite a lot of positions back as well.
Seagull and Jimsky, you say, or what?
Seagull and Kingsman.
Yeah, fair. I mean, Kingsman
could
is
see
now
them
far
still-
back, but yeah.
I can still see both of them finishing in the top 10, being
Yeah.
Seagull in the top 10 now.
I think Kingsman with like one good safety car, he's probably gonna have it back. He's already only 5 seconds behind the first Haas. And, well, Seagull is right in the middle of the pack, really. There's just gonna be a huge DNF train. No, DRS train. Gonna be going
Hopefully
on.
not a DNF train.
Yeah, please. Somebody just brake checks everybody and all of them DNF. Nah, yeah, so there's gonna be some positional changes here. Marcian has gone ahead of Yeast, and he's now gonna be the leader of the second train. First train is gonna be led by Ed, and holds everybody up to Eric. Yeah, Eric also being able to keep up with the top guys is an interesting thing, as he has somewhat struggled to find his pace sometimes recently. And now, yeah, just hanging on with Kurtzer, Ed, Cherry there, Emils as well up in there. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say surprises me to see, but it's definitely a pleasant sight to see.
Definitely, yes.
Was just about to say how he still has P2 Merchant in his Discord name, and he hasn't had a P2 in 3 seasons. Yeah, Cherry taking P2 here.
This DRS train on the start finish here is pretty impressive.
Yes, goes very far down. It's like 5 people in the first one and then 7 in the second. And Mark here with the first corner cut penalty. There's some movement here behind. Jimsky makes it past MQ. Further up, I think Ed is gonna deliver the counter to Cherry's recent overtake there. And that is as easy as it gets.
Seagull's going for a dive into the chicane here.
Oh yeah, Seagull and
back
Hussein as well. They have battled so much on top, but now they find in 10 and 11.
Which in a DRS train, you don't really want to be losing positions.
Yeah. Jimsky right behind them as well. So it's like really our usual top 3, but this time they're like 10 positions further down.
Well, they're in the top 3 in some way.
Yeah, sort of. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see whether they can make their way all the way through this long train. There's so many cars going on here. Let's see what the top guys do here. And Ed is slightly down on ERS against Jannemann, and of course Jannemann, with the added advantage of having the hard tires now, is gonna have a better time later on in the race.
Got Twin Mark pitting as well.
Yeah, might have gotten front wing damage somewhere, not sure. Yellow flags, there is a Haas who has spun. And Kingsman is through there. Fairly certain Kingsman was far enough away to not have that be contact.
So Twin Mark has come back out on mediums.
So, Ed is gaining on Jannemann. Cherry is losing on Ed. It's now a second down, which is very interesting for everybody behind him here. They can potentially profit from Cherry not having DRS. Kurtz now made his way past Emils, and is certainly going to be attacking Cherry for that P3, so he can follow up and get to Ed. And Ed is now within a second to Jannemann. Barely, just about. I think it really depends on what part of the track you are, but I guess it's most important at the DRS detection point. Ed is using a lot of ERS to get there, and he does in fact get the DRS on the main straight. It's going to be a nice 2-3 tenths for him for free, helping him against Cherry there, of course.
This turn 1 could be quite interesting.
Oh yeah,
looks like there's looks like so far going 3 wide.
Further down.
Pulled back up. Yeah, we got the 10 to 13. Actually, I think it's 8 to 12. Yeah, 8 to 12. A lot of movement. Seagull going for a dive down the inside. Has made a position up to P10.
Yeah,
Jimsky as well, also with the dive there.
Yeah, very nice overtake there by Jimsky. Going side by side through a lot of this section, and yeah, Cherry now being passed by Emils as well. But the counter might be coming. Nope, not close enough. Hussein now gets past the east, and so is Seagull, I think. Most likely on the exit here. And Jimsky might even slip through as well, but he's in a slightly better position for the slipstream. Jimsky on the inside though. Gonna have the inside line through the long right-hander here as well. This might be advantageous for him. And it looks like
he's going wide down there.
Yeah, even Dylan is coming through. Yeast has just lost, I think, 5 positions in this one lap. Was 8th? Yeah, 4 positions. 8th at the start of it, and now he's even under attack by MQ.
It's interesting to see the faster guys. No, well, maybe not the faster guys again, but like, it's good to see the ones who are usually up the front quite, not rapidly, but kind of gaining positions quite well.
Yeah, yeah. They will now have to chase after the next train, I guess, right? Marcion kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. There's not having DRS on Eric anymore. Yeast also with the first corner cut penalty for himself. And Ed has also closed up to Jannemann now, this time properly. He's well within a second this time.
Now we've got 3 people with penalties.
Yeah. Monsieur Genier has picked up one as well.
Genier. Monsieur Genier.
Yeah, oui. Oh, well, what a day. We are in French. We discover it's French. We are in French. We are in France, yes. No, I am still, in fact, not in France, but of course Formula Sundays is racing there. Well, regardless, Kurtz is now, I don't know, has been in the lead of this second DRS train for a while, but as I say that, he is in fact not anymore. He has spun out down to, it's probably going to be behind Yeast and MQ even, yep. Behind them there's quite a gap, so a good point to re-enter onto the track. And Ed, super close to Yaneman, but not quite in position to make the move yet. Of course, he can recharge some of his ERS here. Now with the DRS, all of that energy that he burned to get so close to Yaneman again, to profit off that extra speed on the straights.
You got Jimsky has also used quite a lot. He was flashing just there as well.
Yeah.
Which could be quite interesting, depending on how much Seagull has. He could.
I think Seagull was flashing
definitely
earlier
Seagull's
as well.
getting the position here. He's got the DRS.
He's not even using energy for this one, saving this up for when he actually needs it. Not sure, I think France is decent,
most of the time,
right?
It's quite bad for ERS.
Yeah, okay.
DJ Lol with a 3-second time penalty as well there. And Mark with an additional 3 seconds. But yeah, no, the ERS on this is quite rubbish, to be fair.
Okay.
Also, most of the time, if you're following a car so close that you're within DRS, you're just not going to use the ERS anyway, because you're just going to catch them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to make sure you get the position, sometimes you'll use it, but for the most part, you're just not really using DRS and ERS. It's more or less one or the other, and trying to use ERS more out on the exits. Like personally, that's what I do as well. If there's a car in front, I'll be using it on the exits, car behind exits, or in the situation I was where I kind of had a big gap ahead of me and a bit of a gap behind me. I was just trying to maintain that gap and using them on the straights because there was not really anything to obviously stop me needing to use it or whatever.
Yeah.
Cherry and Kurtza with the 3-second penalties there. We were saying this before the Challenger race as well, that we thought that track limits was going to be a problem for a lot of people, and to be fair, a lot of the Challenger drivers kept it within the white lines.
Yeah, that's true actually, but I guess like you can risk less over the curbs regardless if it's wet, so the corner cuts will likely appear a little bit less. We've seen a little bit of I wouldn't quite call this a vintage Eric move, but there was definitely some aggressive overtaking by the Williams there. Now lost the position again to Emils. And that has prompted Marcian to catch up with this little group.
Oh, that was nearly contact with Marcel and Eric there.
These guys are very close together right now. Marcian looks like he could go quicker here for sure. And
could definitely go quicker, especially, I know there's a DRS train, but if he decides to also use the ERS like I was saying before, if you want to try and make that position move, could be quite interesting, but my concern is turn 1 here. They're all quite close together. If anyone hits that curb on the inside of 3, no, 2, sorry,
ooh,
yes,
it is a drama between the Ferraris. The rear end by Marcian, I think, on Cherry, and Yaneman has done the thing that has cost him 2 race wins already. He has
we've
picked
got
up
DJ Lol with 11 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, Yaneman with his first one as well could be quite crucial in the end for the lead. Especially if there's late safety cars, he might just be without a chance.
Currently he's going to be sitting in P2 as it stands. Quite a lot of the track penalties racking up now though. Should be seeing a few people coming in and then I'd say the next 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, and well, the train just got a lot more trainier, I guess, as we are currently looking at, well, almost P3 down to P10.
It's everyone was within a second of each other here. It's going to be quite interesting on the DRS straights there.
Yes. Just a question of
coming into the second, the first DRS point, I guess. Seems to be a lot of people have kind of broken the chain a little bit. Got Emils who's going to have it, and then Seagull down to Yeast.
Yeah.
So Eric with a little bit of a disadvantage here.
Eric's probably not going to stay in the lead of that chain for long then. I think Seagull should have superior race pace regardless, on paper.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's likely gonna catch up to Emil soon as well then, with the extra speed from the overtake.
Yeah, we've got Seagull making moves, or trying to make moves already. So I would not be surprised if this start at this DRS straight here that Seagull manages to get him before the hairpin. Not the hairpin, the chicane. Yeah, we see Seagull going what? Yeah, we've got it. Seagull, it's a double overtake from Seagull and Jimsky on Eric there as well.
Yeah, Jannemann now losing position to Ed. See where that ends here, if that gives them an advantage pace-wise or not. Seagull instead is going to be closing the gap to Emils to unite the DRS train from 3 to 10. At this point, it is really like 7-8 cars super close to each other,
Yeah.
profiting
There
of
could be
that.
some more position changes on the start finish as well. Quite a lot of them still within DRS. We've got 8 cars within DRS of each other.
Yeah.
So this train is just gonna keep going and going. We've got Hussein trying to make a move on the outside of Eric. Gets it completed there.
Yep, without much problem. Yeah, going through before the breaking point, of course, always nice. Gives you the added safety of not having to go side by side through these turns.
Another thing that hasn't come up for us, I don't think, is Mr. Janier is on 8 seconds now.
Yes, yes, sped in the pits whilst changing for his hearts, which is a good point actually. It's 27 laps. I do assume that at some point, fairly soonish, at least the medium runners are gonna go into the pits, right?
The medium runners should be coming in within the next couple of laps. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them decide to even come in this lap.
Yeah.
I
mean, I assume you want to drive them as long as possible, and you can potentially. I think France is relatively okay for tires, so you can potentially.
Following the car is quite difficult. Quite hard on the tires. We've also got DJ Lol with a DNF there. His car's still on the start-finish straight, but I'm not really too sure what has gone on.
I think he spun and crashed into the wall and then just retired. Eric into the pits.
Yeah, here we go. Eric in the pits. Yep. So this could be the starting of everyone else coming into the pits as well. I feel like the next lap. So we've got DJ Lol stopped on the inside. I believe it's off track.
Yeah, it is. It's the AI driving there. So, yeah, it's now despawned, as cars usually do. And it seems like we have Seagull in the lead of the pursuit for the top 2.
Just all depends on what happens here with the run of pit stops. He's got Jimsky, who's just overtaken Seagull as well there. Problem with the pit entry on here is it's quite short. You're coming in quite fast, so there is always going to be that very high risk as well of you speeding in the pits. Especially under like virtual safety car as well. The delta gets a bit iffy when you're in the pit entry for this track as well. In the Challenger race, I had to slow almost to a stop coming into the pits because my delta rapidly shot up or down.
Okay.
Down? Up? I don't know. At this point,
you probably like
the plus and minuses. I don't know.
Yeah, you cut the entirety of the last turn, right? Jimsky into the pits, so I assume you can take these mediums at least 2 more laps. And would probably do that, given that the mediums are probably the better tire to be on. Ed with a little mistake. Or,
I know that the what's it called? Oh my god, yes, just seen the mistake from Ed on the stream there. I know that the hards, I know for the Challenger tier, at least, the hards are quite horrible. Kurtz with another 3-second penalty as well there. But for the elite tier, I think they're kind of alright.
Yeah, fair.
I could be wrong though.
I don't know neither.
Very close proximity between Eric and Deddy here.
I would
3 wide
assume.
into some of the corners, and we've got Jimsky and Eric kind of bonking each other along the way there. Could be an overtake on the straight here as well.
What is the strat though, right now? Oh lord, the strat is currently Jimsky in a battle against both Daddy and Eric.
And he's pulled it off though. He's pulled it off, and
Yep.
what a really good move from Jimsky there as well. Kept it clean. Ballsy move as well, but quite clearly paid off for him.
Janneman into the pits, Ed staying out for another lap, Seagull coming in, Emil's coming in. Oh my god, that was so close. Behind
I
Hussein,
think all
who's
the
also coming in.
medium runners are going to come in now.
Kurtz is staying out for another. I mean, I guess he kinda has to, because Hussein is in the pit just ahead of him. And so is Dylan and Janneman, I guess. But Janneman comes out in a very nice time window. There's just nobody there to really obstruct him. Jimsky's not too far away, honestly. He might have gained some on Seagull. Let's see. Oh, Seagull just coming out ahead of
Yeah, that was a bit close there.
Yep.
That's something I've never liked about this track. They have so much space to obviously they could totally rework the layout as well. They have so much space to play with. But the pit exit comes right onto the racing line.
I mean, I guess, but this one is not as bad as Portimao, for example. Like, that one is horrendous, because you're literally on the apex if you're coming out of the pits. Here, I guess, you can at least, like, take a more inside line, and, you won't have a problem with the pit exit.
All it takes is for that one person to not realize there's a car coming, and there's...
Yeah, I mean... But that's also always the case, right? Like, if you...
I suppose, but here it's
yeah. I get you.
It's
yeah. The pit exit is not great. That's for sure.
Yeah. So after that bunch of pit stops, we've got Ed, Kurtza, Dylan, Janneman, Jimsky, Seagull, Eric, Hussein, Emil, Marcelian for the top 10. Yeast, Cuambors, Cherry, Mark, Deddy, Monsieur Genier, Kingsman, and Den in the last 8 positions there, with DJ Lol retiring, I believe, and Phantominium having also a DNF in the first lap.
Yes, I am very curious what happened there, honestly.
I
can
would
only
like to see
imagine
that
like
too.
a slight rear end and then he spins around and someone drives his front wheel off.
It looked like he hit the wall on the inside.
What?
So I think he might have gotten in contact with someone, spun round, and then obviously just kind of went into the wall.
Janneman is about to get some nice DRS help by his teammate. He's just gonna let him pass, of course. I think they are in VC together usually. And
Who's this, sorry?
Janneman and Dylan.
Yeah, they are currently in
Yeah.
VC together. I know that I believe Jimsky, Deddy, Cherry, and Kingsman, potentially Seagull as well. They are all also in the same call.
Okay.
We usually chill within my server and it's kind of just oh, there's quite a lot in that. So yeah, in the same VC we've got Yeast, Phantomanium, Deddy, Jimsky, Cherry, Emils, and Kingsman.
Half the lobby then, okay.
Basically, yeah.
You're gonna get another DRS of Kurtz here, who's probably gonna go in the pits. Yep.
Yeah, 5 seconds for speeding. Yeah, you're as I said before, you're always at a high risk of getting the 5 seconds.
Ed is going for softs now, which is very interesting.
Yeah, we also have Twin Mark retiring.
Yeah, he must have crashed somehow. Fortunately, I think there is currently no one around there.
Yeah.
So
and we have Eric with a bump from behind by Emil's. Emil's going wide. He's also Emil's being the absolute legend that he is anyway. Is just gave the position back as well for that.
Yeah.
It's always
Yes.
nice to see when drivers make a mistake and they instantly own up to it. With Eric also getting the 3-second penalty for corner cut in there.
Yeah, what's interesting, or what's going to be interesting though, is how well Ed's strategy is going to work off. I'm very curious about that.
I personally don't see... The only way I can see him doing this is if he does soft. There's
Is that
no way
so?
you
Is
can...
10 laps so hard on softs?
Actually, now that you say 10 laps, I don't know why I was thinking it was longer than that. I feel like you could pull off 10 laps in softs, but definitely like maybe 8 to 10, like lap 8 to 10, you're gonna start losing a lot of grip.
I mean, Kurtz is doing it as well, so it is not entirely off meta, I guess. So...
At the end of the day, it all comes down to the strategy, and as we found out with Nitro in the Challenger race,
Yeah.
switching to wets, it doesn't always go in your favor.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ed
Got
has
Emil and
gained...
Marcel really close to each other as well, sorry.
Ed has
Cutting you
gained
off
back
there.
a lot of the time from his pit stop already, so... Looking good
Yeah,
there.
this is
Jimsky
true.
with a mistake as well, so he's already passed one of the two. I think Janneman is slightly gaining on Seagull, but honestly they should be very even in pace. This might just be like a good lap by
Do you
either
mean
one.
Siegel gaining on Janneman? Because Janneman is currently P1.
Nah, Janneman is gaining, like, I mean, yeah, he is gaining time.
Ah, okay, yeah, no, I get what you
Yeah.
mean. I am
Like,
stupid.
but I think they are like generally relatively even in pace, so I think it should be a question of was it a good lap for one of them or not. And now Ed is through, and I wonder if Seagull is even able to counterattack, because Ed was going Janneman's pace. He's currently 1.1 seconds ahead of his PB lap. And yeah, that could gain him a lot here. Marcian and Eric side by side here. Around the outside goes the Ferrari. And he goes through. A very nice move there by Marcian. And, well, Emils and East are lurking for an overtake on Eric as well. Let's see. Seagull has the DRS. He uses the overtake, actually. I mean, Ed
with the
has...
fastest lap there with a 1:37.
And no big surprise, I guess. He has gained 1.5 seconds on Janneman as well, but he has also almost used up the entirety of his ERS. And as long as he's not getting away from Seagull right now, and they manage to stay within the DRS, which is super close right now, and I think he might have just done it and was away fast enough. Well, it's gonna be hard for Seagull then. I think if they get DRS, they can stay there, maybe attack Ed, but now if he's away and he can keep it away for like another lap, he might just go alone.
Definitely. Sorry, I had to briefly tab out. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeast?
Kurtza with 14 seconds now.
Oh lord. Yeast and Eric, side by side.
Yeah, it's not fun going side by side through that turn, especially if you're using your ERS at the same time.
Yeah, it's like well doable, but it's so scary.
It's
Like-
terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, like when we were doing a practice session, I did it to, I believe, Emil
Mhm.
or Denny. I can't remember who it was, and we were both screaming because we were both terrified that we were going to hit each other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's one thing I like about France, honestly. I think this is probably the best track to drive some corners side by side to. The entire
think?
Sector 3, I think, can pretty much be driven side by side. You can do a lot of the end of Sector 1 there with different lines side by side briefly.
Yeah. Well, I'll back you on Sector 3 because I overtook Shooter side by side through turn 12, where the last of the runners are coming through just now. That from me was kind of a mistake as well. I outbraked myself and I was like, okay, well, I just have to go for it. and it paid off. I think there was a small amount of contact, but it wasn't like anything major.
Ed is continuously gaining as well on Yaneman, and also on Jimsky and Seagull.
Yeah,
Jimsky
Ed's
on...
definitely getting this. We've got Yeast with another 3 seconds, bringing him up to 6 seconds there. Currently putting him down to 10 or 11. It's hard to tell because
He's probably not gonna get past Kurtzer. Like backwards. Kurtzer has like 18 seconds or something, so however much Yeast has is probably not more than Kurtzer has.
yeah. I know Deddy ended up with quite a lot of time penalties, but the game just gave him a lot for
Oh
some
yeah,
reason.
no, it was the last, like he got pushed off track and got
Kingsman
a
with his
track limit
first
for
penalty
that.
as well.
And because he cut the chicane because of it, he got a 10-second penalty for that. And then because he didn't give back the position, he got another 5 sec for that. So like for one corner cut, he got 18 seconds in the very last
Damn.
lap. So I assume he's going to be appealing some of it.
Yeah, I know me and Jimsky were in the call and we were like, yeah, you'll be able to appeal some of them, at least.
I mean, I don't think like the illegal overtake is logically probably not going to be undone because he did not give back the position. So yeah. But
See, it also comes into the aspect, because we've also had this in the past, as well, where someone's unintentionally done an illegal overtake, or the game's just said it's an illegal overtake, and you're trying to give the position back, but the person behind you
yeah,
is
no, but
just not doing it.
it was just not like the. I think. I mean, we will see. I'll see at the POV, and if he gives good reasoning, who knows? For me, it
Yeah.
did not look like he was actually trying to slow down and give the position back. Especially given its last lap, like, yeah, probably not intending to get it back, regardless. But yeah, we have still gotten a few smaller battles going on. I think Ed is still gaining, but his
We have Den with a spin, I believe.
yep, he's going again.
Yeah.
Ed is still gaining, but a little bit slower at this point.
Looks like Cherry and Quabors, they are maybe in a wee bit of a battle as well. Kind of hard to tell from the angle. They are very close to each other.
Yep.
You got Quabors with the DRS as well here.
Kurtz getting another. It's probably not that far away from getting disqualified. Hussein with a time penalty as well. Huge for Emils maybe to get another position. Let's see Jimsky and Seagull swap in position for the 10th time. I think the gap between Ed and Yaneman has pretty much stabilized at 3.7 seconds there. Been around that for like at least 2 laps now. Maybe it was just not very good laps by Ed. Maybe the mediums start catching up to the softs pace-wise at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think Jimsky and Seagull got a little bit closer to him as well, again. So, Yeast and Marcian, also on the same tire, potentially.
Kingsman with a spin as well.
It's gonna be...
Exact same position as Den did as well.
yeah. Oh god, and he apparently spun out again. Alright, tried to accelerate a little bit slower this time, I guess. But yeah, Kingsman is about to be left then soon, I guess.
A lot. I wouldn't be surprised, knowing Kingsman. Obviously, Kingsman being my teammate and challenger. Feel like, yep. How is he not dead there?
And it's safety car. Oh lord, man. I was so hoping for not safety car.
Kurtzer with
Freaking hell,
17
Kingsman.
seconds. Jesus. I'm genuinely surprised that Kingsman didn't lose a wheel there.
Yeah, it's Jover for Yaneman though now. Like, it's kind of ruined a Okay, I never thought I'd agree with Rapid, but this was just Chelly driver doing dumb shit for no reason. That is now completely ruining the fight for P1 for like one of the drivers, because before that it was like a battle of whether Seagull, Jimsky Ad could catch up. Now Yanuman is just gonna lose regardless, and it's gonna be decided between the three of the ones behind.
There is still time for them all to get penalties, though.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't be
guess.
surprised if Kingsman's coming onto the soft here. Yeah, Kingsman's coming onto the soft.
I guess he could hold off Seagull here. Okay. Seagull is gonna get at least a little bit of a slower stop here, I guess. But it
5
doesn't
seconds
really
to
matter,
Kurtz
right?
again for speeding in the pits.
Yeah, he's just retired.
With a DNF there. I can imagine the words coming out of his mouth right now wouldn't be too pleasant.
Yep.
And rightly so. As again, just to bring it up one more time, the pit entry on this track is horrible.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Everybody is gonna go into the pits here, except Daddy maybe. Or is he just not arriving at the pit lane yet? Oh yeah, he has not arrived at the pit lane yet. Kingsman is gonna get an opportunity, I guess, to make that lap he is behind back up. I'm been asking if Kingsman is washed in the lead, but this man has finished in P4 or something 2 or 3 races ago and has had some P5s and 6s as well, so currently not doing that bad, but yeah. This time round, it's not the best showing by the Challenger Tier champion. So, we will likely have this lap and another lap of safety car. And I think then 2 more laps of racing in the end. And a lot of time, I guess, to look at what's going on here. Yanuman is gonna be the leader here on the softs. Don't know why Ed chose mediums. Does he not have a fresh set of softs anymore?
Maybe not.
But yeah, everybody else is gonna be on softs, apart from Dylan as well in P10. And Daddy in 13th, but he's gonna be a bit of a way down regardless. So, just the waiting game. Has 1 more lap. I think Kingsman is gonna need the entirety of that to catch up to the queue. And well, of course, then Mr. Genya also a good bit down, but I think the pace restrictions should be not for them, like up for them anymore, right? Should just be able to go regardless.
I wouldn't say he's the most washed driver in Elite Tier.
Yeah, because to be washed, you first have to peak at first, right?
Well, yeah, there's that as well. I know, I would think Kingsman's been doing relatively well within Elite
for sure.
Tier. He's also technically not within the Elite Tier, so he can't be an Elite Tier, a washed driver in Elite Tier.
True, he is only reserve after all. I assume the safety car is gonna come in now, but
yeah, I would assume it's coming in. But yeah, with the reserve drivers, yeah, safety car in. With the reserve drivers, you're always going to be taking a gamble as well, especially, you know, if they're challenger drivers.
Yeah, fair. I mean, of course, but like Kingsman should be pretty much on par with bottom end elite. pace-wise.
I
And
think
he
he's
is,
just
I
made a
think, on
mistake
par with
and
even
then
more
tried
than
to
that.
sort it, got in his own head, and just made another mistake.
We will see. There's gonna be one more restart here in the end. Janneman is gonna be the man in the lead. I mean, of course, ultimately it's his fault again for picking up the time penalty here. That's gonna cost him, I think, the win for the 3rd time this season.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but got a 5-second collision penalty there. I don't know why I said collision penalty.
Yeah, for Eric.
We might also have one from Kingsman as well. He's just bonked the back engineer.
And the restart is underway there. Janneman has picked up the pace again, and I think Ed has been able to follow relatively well. Still within half a second. It's going to be a mega task here for Janneman now. 2 laps to go and 3 seconds to gain. Can only hope for a big battle between Ed and Jimsky here. Jimsky are attacking Ed already, sorry.
No, you're fine. We also got Janier and Kingsman having a... Yeah, no, never mind. Kingsman's made the position already. And significantly gaining ahead of Janier as well.
Yeah, Jimsky now coming up to the big straight, assuming... well, Mr. Ginier, or dude, I'm so confused. I think you started saying his name now, and now my head is stuck there. But Ed is actually choosing to go the inside line. There's a couple of wheel banks between Jimsky and Ed, and Jimsky is now in front, but surely gonna come under attack by Ed again. Both of them pretty much draining their ERS tanks. They go side by side here through the right-hander, and oh my god, they will collide.
Jimsky with a Leclerc, no!
Yeah, that was very dangerous there between the two. I'm actually surprised that nobody got caught in the action here.
I'm surprised none of them have DNF'd as well. That was a quite drastic move.
It really looked like they were about to collect someone else.
I can only imagine in the voice chat right now that those two are going at each other.
This is the most Seagull win in existence of Seagull wins, I guess, again. Just chaos Seagull all across. He was like out of the race for 90% of it, late safety car, and all of a sudden, win.
Well, what can I say? I did predict him, so...
Oh, shut up,
Your crew on board with a 3-second time penalty as well. The time penalties keep on coming.
Yeah. And,
well, in true Seagull fashion as well, yeah, he's got this race in the bag, I believe. Unless anything happens. There is still half a lap to go. And as we've seen, a lot of battles going on, a lot of contact, a lot of track penalties as well, so...
Yeah, we may see. Hussein, of course, has really nothing to gain from attacking here. I think he knows he's down.
Also going to be behind.
And he's also too far away. Oh well, Hussein is flashing the low fuel light.
Hussein's flashing low fuel, oh god, no.
So is Janneman, by the way.
How do you tell the difference between the low fuel and the low ERS?
It's entirely different things. Oh. Like if you go into the overlay, the in-game overlay. Well. Janneman is maybe even not gonna be on the podium here. Oh, he is P2. Emils is not getting past. Oh, by a very slim margin here. And
5 seconds to Eric for unserving a penalty as well.
Yeah, fair. That's how the 5 seconds, I guess, get displayed.
And DRS is enabled at the end of the race, boys.
Hey, lovely. Finally, we can use DRS on the in-laps.
Yeah, and we got driver of the day as Jimsky as well. I know that doesn't really mean much within the league, but it's sometimes nice to have that as well.
So, Seagull win. And, wait, was it Emils on the podium? So that's pretty banging for McLaren as well, right?
Yeah, it's a really good McLaren weekend. As far as it stands, I don't believe any penalties should come mine or Kingsman's way, but that's at least in Challenger, we have Kingsman securing the Drivers' Championship, again, pending any verdicts or anything like that. And then we also had us secure the championship for the constructors as well, and also a double podium. And then in Elite, we've also got Emil on the podium. And again, not that it means anything. We have Jimsky as driver of the day in Elite, and we had me as driver of the day in Challenger.
Yeah.
So all around, just a really, I would say a really good weekend for both tiers in the McLaren.
Yeah.
A little unfortunate for Jimsky to have the contact at the end there.
Yeah, that's fair.
But other than that, it seems to have been pretty decent.
It was a good one after all. Very much action. Don't really think. I don't know. I think I would have preferred it without the safety car, like just the trio of Jimsky, Ed, and Seagull, like going ham for the win.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, after all, it was still an entertaining finish. I mean, of course, with the added collision of Jimsky and Ed. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's not much more to say, I guess, from us, apart than thank you all for being with us, and we'll probably see you next.
Yeah, most likely.
What track are you?
I believe it's Singapore.
It is Singapore, so a one city circuit coming up for use, and yeah.
The last time we properly raced here, if I remember right, was season 11.
Yeah, I think it was
And
on the last calendar. Yeah.
And well, what I remember from season 11 Singapore was me believing I had enough time to get back onto the line and significantly misjudging
yeah,
it and
you were
almost
like
wiping out my teammate and Cherry.
Yes, you were pretty much race banned from this race alone, right? Because you had like 3 unsafe re-entries that were like pretty bad.
I think I got 2 penalty points from that, because one, I obviously, looking back on it, like it, understandable, it makes sense to, because I changed from manual to automatic, so I usually used to hold the brake to make sure I stayed in place. Obviously, holding the brake in in automatic will kick you into reverse, so that's one of the unsafe re-entries there that caused some contact, and then obviously the one that was. Looking back on it, I genuinely don't have any idea why I thought I had enough time. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a funny race. I think Singapore. Honestly, Baku is probably the best circuit in my opinion, race-wise. But Singapore is definitely not the worst. So
I quite like Miami.
Fair enough.
But knowing our track record in the league, it's just carnage.
Well, I can distinctly remember Fabian being taken out by Seagull and Brenton back here once back in the day. When he was about to win, actually, in the small tier that was Elite tier back then. I don't know. I'm very curious of what we're gonna see next week, and I guess like
could be an interesting one.
Yeah, from the two of us. Well, good night. And it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions.